members please be seated? Honorable members, we will continue from where we left off this morning. I now call on the next speaker, the Minister for Public Enterprises and Multi-Ethnic Affairs, Culture, Heritage and Arts, the Honorable Charan Singh.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I thank you for giving a really a lunch break so that I could prepare further and do some maro later in my speech. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Honorable Prime Minister, the Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Ministers, Assistant Ministers, Honorable Leaders of the Opposition, Honorable Leader of the Opposition, I thought there were so many opposition leaders now, distinguished guests, the gallery, and my fellow Fijians from all walks of life. Before I speak proper, sometimes I feel what a hypocrisy that we have in this parliament. First of all, when our Honorable Excellency is now the President, when he was voted to become a Speaker, we had opposition from that side. When he became the Speaker, His Excellency of this country, we had opposition from that side. Now, the speech says, Your Excellency, your gracious speech, don't be hypocritical. If you don't like a person, just move out of this house. Full stop. I know Honorable Koya is waving his head, trying to perhaps disagree with me, but please, this is a new modern of parliament, where if you don't like a person, just move out. Come back in the new term of parliament.
Yes,
60?
yes, your point of order.
Relevance, Honorable Speaker.
I'm sorry, come here.
Point of order 60, relevance.
60. Relevant. Honorable Minister, can you explain your observation is relevant or not, according to this?
Mr. Speaker say is very relevant. If you don't like a person, don't be hypocrisy. Don't be hypocritical in this parliament.
I'm sorry, Mr. let me take. Are you referring to the Honorable His Excellency?
That's right, sir. No, you don't have a respect. Hey?
No, I think, can I ask your the Honorable Minister to keep away from that observation? I think they're quite correct in that they do have respect for His Excellency.
I wanted to create a bit of a drama before I start my real. No, it's relevant to you, right? Anyway, coming back to Honorable Speaker, say, we have several speakers here who have talked about the cost of living. The country is going through out of the roof. 16 years of Fiji First. You don't talk about it? Do you know or do you understand how do you understand how it works in this country? How the prices of goods work in this country? Come on, listen. Sir, what happens in this country is this. We are the receivers then in this country. We only have a small ratio of our own resources. By majority, our imports come from New Zealand, Australia, Malaysia, Singapore, India, Thailand. Even whatever we manufacture in this country, our raw products are 75% imported. So, how do we control our goods cost? We don't have our father's factory sitting there in Thailand. They give us the price. We have to be dictated by that. And even today, when this Iran-US war has started, Ukraine-Russia war started, we don't have control. We are the receivers end. So don't blame us that the prices of goods have increased here because of Honorable Rambuka's government. Because I'll tell you what, even when the government changes tomorrow, you will not be able to change the prices. So don't mislead this country and the consumers in this country that because of us, the prices go up. Sorry? VAT free? You want VAT free? Then your salary won't be paid. Huh. If you want VAT free, your salary will not be paid. Now coming back to another issue. Don't mislead the consumers, because you guys got no ideas how the business of this country is run. In particularly, how the supermarkets operate. Do you know what is the GP of a supermarket? Come on, you look aside. Mr. Speaker, say.
Now, let me just have a general warning to everybody. When you don't speak directly to one who's, you speak to the chair, right? So observe that. Carry on, Minister.
So, Honorable Speaker, to run a supermarket, of course, I come from a supermarket business, I declare my interest. You run a supermarket in this country, you know what is the gross profit of the business? Can anybody in the opposition give me a number there?
Yes. Point about.
Point of order 60, again on relevance. He's talking about going to the supermarket.
Right. It's a similar issues that I had that was raised in respect of. Unfortunately, you have to link whatever you are talking about to His Excellency the President's address. If he was talking about cost of living, then the issue on supermarket is relevant. Right. So proceed, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Say, the honourable member doesn't know that they were talking about inflation. I'm coming to the point. And no, Dinesh, a small kid, now Honourable, you be careful. Mr. Speaker, say, running a supermarket.
Point of order,
sit down.
Speaker.
Yes, one moment. Point of order.
Point of order on 62, 4A. The honourable member should not be warning members of this House. He should not be saying, watch out. He needs to focus. He can't be offensive, teaching people like a small children. These are honourable members of parliament who represent the people of this country. He needs to withdraw that kind of statement.
I make the ruling, not you, right? Okay. No, and I do agree with him, though, right? I think you need to keep away from that kind of language, Honourable Minister. If you can withdraw that, we can proceed, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I withdraw, but I think my speech will perhaps take another half an hour by the time the interjections and everything come. So please bear with me. Please bear with me. Now, coming back to the dishonesty and hypocrisy in this country and in these chambers. When we had submitted, the government had submitted about the salary increase, Parliament. We had the opposition opposing it. The opposition members of G11 were with us, and I thank them because they came very honestly to vote for us. And G15 opposed it, and what they did, they opposed here, they went in the urban, in the perimeters, and the settlements, and the villages to say, oh, we oppose this salary. From 50,000 salary, they go to 90,000. But they were then opposed, voted against us, but yet they collected the salary. I want this whole nation to know the dishonesty of the highest order of these people. Right? Well, I'm talking about them, about you
Honorable
guys.
Sharma.
But please,
One moment. Honorable Sharma, I have warned you, right? You don't talk directly to the speaker. Thank you.
thanks, Mr. Speaker. Sir. I'm saying, Mr. Speaker, sir, these are few things. This is not election campaign stage, but I want the whole nation to know what they say in Parliament and what they say outside. If they were honest, they would have told the ministry to say, look, we don't want 40,000 more. Please divert that money to the destitutes. Please divert that money to the poor. No, they're collecting it. Look, Honorable Speaker say, I don't want to say NFP or what, but I'm talking about the G15, the dishonest bunch of honorable members. Mr. Speaker say, I now must speak on my proper speech. No, we've got 12 minutes left. Don't you know how the clock works? I rise to thank His Excellency, the President, for his most gracious speech. Most gracious speech because I love the President. I voted for him. You guys haven't. His Excellency has outlined a clear and a principled vision of our nation, one grounded in unity, responsible leadership, and inclusive development of the national progress. His reminder that our diversity is our strength. Our unity is our purpose. Speaks directly to the mandate of the ministry, which I have the honor as the responsible. Sanjay Kirpal, don't do all that. I know about you so much better than you. Mr. Speaker, say, allow me to first express my sincere appreciation to the Honorable Prime Minister for the confidence placed in me to serve a Minister of Public Enterprise, as well as a Minister responsible for multi-ethnic affairs, culture, heritage and arts. Now, some members will say, I got demoted. Honorable Leader of Opposition, you know how demotion and promotion happens in civil service. You were demoted a few times. Honorable Member, I have been promoted from a five sector to 22 sector in public enterprise. Right? So that's a promotion. Unless you guys have a miscalculation or have never been to school to understand. I am talking.
Honorable Smati?
I can't see the relevance of what the Honorable Minister is talking about to His Excellency's address. His Excellency did not talk about ministers getting a bigger portfolio or smaller portfolio. Nowhere in his speech. So this is totally irrelevant, sir. I'm sorry, but I don't see the relevance at all, sir.
Right, thank you. Can I ask the Honorable Minister to keep to his script and the less he talk off the cuff, I think the better it is.
Thank you,
The
Mr.
point is
Speaker.
taken, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's all about good governance. It's all about good governance. The integration of these portfolios represents a unique opportunity to strengthen both the social and the economic pillars of our national development. On one hand, we must nurture unity, cultural identity, and social cohesion across our diverse communities. On the other hand, we must ensure that our state-owned enterprises operate efficiently, responsibly, and sustainably in support of our national economy. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Multi-Ethnic Affairs Ministry of Culture, Heritage and Arts translates a vision of unity into practical action. Social cohesion does not happen by chance. It must be nurtured through inclusive policies, community engagement, and respect of Fiji's cultural diversity. Mr. Speaker, sir, the work of the ministry is therefore grounded in strengthening the bonds that unite our people while promoting our culture, heritage, and arts, and ensuring that every Fijian, regardless of ethnicity, faith, or background, feels respected, valued, and included in the national journey. One of our key instruments for achieving this objective is multi-ethnic grants program. Mr. Speaker, this year the allocation has increased to $2 million, representing an increase of $700,000 from the previous financial year. The response from these communities is overwhelming. Last year, the ministry received 312 applications, of which 202 community-based organizations were supported. This year, the application has increased to significantly 1,074, demonstrating both the growing needs of our communities and the trust they continue to place in the government's program. Don't worry. Currently, my ministry is processing 542 approved applications under this program. Just last week, I was in Western Division where I had the privilege of personally distributing 84 recipients in the southwestern region. Furthermore, the reflecting government's commitment is to ensuring that support reaches communities across the country. Through these grants, communities have undertaken projects ranging from water, bowl systems, accessibility of improvements, community infrastructure, cultural, educational initiatives, solar installations, and facility upgrades. Mr. Speaker, as His Excellency reminded us, strengthening unity also requires us to honor the historical journeys that has shaped our nation. The ministry therefore continues to advance initiatives related to Gurmit legacy. This year, the national commemoration will be held under the theme of Roots to Wings, carrying the Gurmit flame forward. As my Assistant Minister had given the invitation, I also forward the invitation to your good self and the entire Parliament to please be with us on the celebration day. The national event will take place at Ratutukampa Park in Asori on 15th of May, with supporting events planned for Lautoka and Lambasa. In addition, the ministry has commenced a digitization over the Gurmit 60,000 records, creating a searchable national database that allows descendants to reconnect to the inheritance with better understanding of the history that shaped modern Fiji. Phase 1 has been completed, and the preparatory works for phase 2 is now underway. Work has also commenced on the concept design of the state-of-art Gurmit Museum, with the consultants already engaged for a design phase. This important project is generously supported by the Government of India. Once completed, the museum will serve as a national cultural landmark and a center for education, research, and intercultural understanding. Mr. Speaker, the ministry is also progressing several important community infrastructure projects. This includes the completion of the Tuatua gas-fired crematorium in Lambasa, which is expected to be commissioned soon as the final tests will be done. In addition, the Nava crematorium project is currently approximately 60% complete, while the proposed facility in Varokaba is presently undergoing and the environmental impact assessment process is in place. Mr. Speaker, the Department of Culture, Heritage and Arts, which now comes under my ministry, plays a vital role in safeguarding and promoting the cultural identity of a nation. Culture and heritage connect the wisdom of our ancestors with the aspiration of a future generation. The department is currently finalizing the culture sector development plan to guide the growth of our culture and creative industries while preserving our heritage. Mr. Speaker, this coalition government also has endorsed the first ever Fijian national cultural policy after more than 2 decades of development. The policy will strengthen the cultural rights, support the creative industries, promote the cultural tourism, and ensure our heritage continues to shape in Fiji's future. Mr. Speaker, allow me to now address the responsibilities of the Ministry of Public Enterprise, which plays a vital role in supporting the national economic development. State-owned enterprise are key drivers of economic activity, employment, and national infrastructure. They provide essential services in sectors such as aviation, communication, agriculture, forestry, and finance, and often operating where private investments alone cannot meet the national needs. Currently, 13 entities are classified as public enterprise Act of 2019, collectively managing significant national assets and delivering vital services to the people of Fiji. The ministry has recently added Assets Fiji Private Limited to this schedule following the recent cabinet approval. The company manages strategic land assets of public enterprise and other government-owned entities that have been divested or sold. Under the Act, the Assets Fiji Limited will focus on strengthening operations, improving efficiency, and exploring new investments, opportunities to enhance the revenue generation. Mr. Speaker, the ministry plays a critical role in providing governance, oversight, administration, and monitoring the public enterprise. This includes the appointment of the board of directors who can govern these entities in accordance with the key principles of the Act: commercial objectives, measurable performance, responsible management, transparency, who said that? And effective monitoring. Strengthening the governance, therefore, remains a key priority. The ministry will continue implementing the merit-based selections and appointment process for the board of directors, ensuring that qualified professionals with appropriate expertise serve on these boards. To further strengthen accountability, the ministry is also developing a director's evaluation framework to assess performance and effectiveness of the board members and identify areas of improvement. In addition, the ministry will continue to reviewing the business plan statements of the corporate intent of the public enterprise to ensure alignment with the national plan of 2025, 2029, and 2050. Public enterprise will also require to submit the table annual reports timely manner, reinforcing transparency, accountability to the cabinet, parliament, and the people of Fiji. Mr. Speaker, another important focus area is sustainability. The ministry is encouraging public enterprise to integrate environmental friendly, sustainable, and socially responsible practices into their operations. For example, Fiji Airports is progressing to plan a 3.5 megawatt solar farm at the Nadi International Airport, which will reduce the reliance of the national grid and support Fiji's renewable energy transition. The company also expanded the use of electric vehicles within its operation. Similarly, the Food Processors Fiji Limited is exploring the development of a 10 megawatt agrivoltaic solar farm at Batiri in Manolevu. Combining solar energy production with agricultural activities to enhance both energy sustainability and agricultural reliance. Mr. Speaker, the ministry is also undertaking to work to examine potential reforms with agro-based public enterprises. These reforms aim to improve operational efficiency, strengthen financial performance, encourage innovation to reduce long-term reliance on government support. Options papers are currently being prepared to assess the most appropriate reform pathway for each entity. In addition, this government is progressing amendments to schedule of one of the Higher Salaries Commission following the cabinet approval earlier this year to include 8 additional entities within the Commission's oversight. This initiative will promote greater transparency, fairness, consistency in self-determination for senior executives within the government-controlled entities. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, the responsibilities entrusted to these ministries reflect 2 essential pillars of national progress: unity among our people and sustainability within our institutions. Through the Ministry's Multi-Ethnic Affairs, Culture, Heritage and Arts, we will continue to strengthen the social cohesion, celebrate our cultural diversity, preserve our heritage and promote the arts as vital expression of our national identity. Through the Ministry of Public Enterprise, we will strengthen the governance, improve and ensure that our public enterprises contribute meaningfully to the economic growth and the national prosperity. As His Excellency has reminded us, the true strength of our nation lies not only in its institution, but in the character, the unity, and the shared values of this people. Let this parliament be remembered, not for division, but for wisdom. Let us work together. Government of National Unity, as Honorable Bala has said, I don't know under which party he wants to propose it, but let us work together. Build Fiji as a fairer, stronger, and united where our diversity, culture, and heritage are celebrated, and our public enterprises contribute to a resilient, prosperous economy. Mr. Speaker, before I sit down, I was trying to see if Honorable Bala said thank you to our Honorable Minister for administering $5 wages increase that you did, and our Minister for Housing for the local government election. With these words, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, and Dhanwad.
I thank the Honorable Charan Singh, the Minister for Public Enterprises and Multi-Ethnic Affairs, Culture, Heritage and Arts, for his contribution to the motion. Just before the lunch break, I had looked across to the Minister's desk and he was nodding. I said, no, you will not deliver your address before lunch, you will wait. Because somehow I just said that this exchange was going to happen. So that is why I thought we will wait until after lunch to let everybody content after their lunch and then not be as... in any case, it didn't quite work the way I had wanted it, but thank you, Honourable Minister. I next call on the Minister for Immigration, the Honourable Williamina Poto.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. The Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Cabinet and Assistant Ministers, Honourable Leader of Opposition, the Honourable Members of Parliament, fellow citizens and online viewers. I rise in support of the motion that is before the House, and that is to thank His Excellency the President for his most gracious speech when he opened this 2026 session of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, His Excellency reminded us that our diversity is our strength and our unity must be actively nurtured. It must be built through fair laws, inclusive policies, respectful leadership, and disciplined debate. In his address, His Excellency reminded us that we govern in an era defined by technological disruption, economic volatility, geopolitical uncertainty, and the accelerating impacts of climate change. These forces are shaping our domestic realities, including the movement of people within and beyond Fiji. He observed that global instability is driving migration, creating unprecedented demographic shifts. For Fiji, Mr. Speaker, this reality carries both challenge, and opportunity. Migration is no longer a peripheral issue. It is central to national resilience, labor market stability, and social cohesion. Technological change and artificial intelligence are reshaping labor markets worldwide. Fiji must therefore ensure that its immigration framework supports national development by facilitating the entry of skills that complement and strengthen our domestic workforce, protecting employment opportunities and fair conditions for Fijian workers, maintaining firm, transparent, and lawful border management systems, and ensuring that migration processes reflect integrity, efficiency, and accountability. As a small island developing state, we are particularly sensitive to demographic shifts, urbanization pressures, outward labor mobility, and regional movement of people must be carefully managed to sustain economic growth while preserving social harmony. Immigration policy must therefore be guided by the three core principles reflected in His Excellency the President's address. Unity in diversity, recognizing that Fiji's multicultural fabric is a strength and that lawful, well-managed migration contributes positively to national life. Sustainability and resilience, ensuring that population growth, labor inflows, and mobility arrangements align with infrastructure capacity, environmental stewardship, and long-term economic plan. Integrity and good governance. The third, upholding the rule of law in all immigration processes, safeguarding public confidence in our border systems, and ensuring fairness and consistency in decision-making. Mr. Speaker, immigration is not merely about the regulation of entry and exit. It is about security. It is about shaping the future composition of our workforce. It is about strengthening regional partnerships, supporting economic competitiveness, and safeguarding sovereignty. His Excellency has set a clear tone, one of stability, reform, and service delivery that meets the expectation of our people. Leaders are urged to uphold integrity, responsible debate, and national unity, especially as Fiji approaches an election year. Mr. Speaker, as Minister for Immigration, I reaffirm our commitment to modernizing our systems, strengthening border security, and improving immigration services for Fijians at home and abroad. Mr. Speaker, our passport system is undergoing a major upgrade. This is the first upgrade since the acquiring of this passport system in 2019. It is a little overdue, but it is being done now. This upgrade, when completed, will significantly improve the quality and efficiency of our passport service delivery to the public. Individuals will be able to complete their passport enrollment online, wherever they are, even from the comfort of their homes, and only first-time passport applicants will be required to book an appointment date to visit the nearest immigration office for their biometric capture. This certainly will reduce waiting times, improve efficiency, and provide greater convenience to our citizens. So for passport renewals, you will only visit an immigration office to collect your new passport. We will make announcements when the upgrade is completed, and our target is by the end of May. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry received a new batch of 45,000 blank passport books just last Friday, the 6th of March. This is the balance of the 100,000 books that was budgeted for in the 2024-2025 budget. In this budget year, another batch of 100,000 books is budgeted for, and the contract for the production has been signed. I wish to assure Fijians that there is sufficient stock available. Therefore, there's no need to unnecessarily rush through your applications. Mr. Speaker, immigration is transitioning its border management system from the current system to the merit system. This work is supported by Australia, and a team from Merit will be in Fiji from the 30th of this month. As we commence the implementation process, the modules will be implemented in stages to allow us to plan carefully, allocate resources appropriately, and roll out the system in a practical and effective manner. Mr. Speaker, the API PNR, Advanced Passenger Information and Passenger Name Record project is critical to strengthening our border security framework. This data system is key to security evaluation of those coming through our borders and at the same time ensuring faster processing and facilitation of genuine visitors across our borders. In line with government standard procurement procedures, the expression of interest was advertised and it is closed, and we are working with ITC on the final stages of the evaluation and the selection process. Mr. Speaker, document fraud remains a serious and growing global threat. Fraudulent passports, visas, and identity documents are increasingly becoming sophisticated and often linked to transnational crime, human trafficking, people smuggling, and other security risks. The establishment of a document forensic laboratory in Nandi and in Suva is a big development in this very important area of immigration work. We are working closely with the Australian government and as we strengthen Fiji's technical capacity to detect forged and altered travel documents quickly and accurately. Mr. Speaker, we are decentralizing our immigration services. A new immigration office will open in Nakasi and has been approved by the relevant authorities. It will undergo an office fit-out, and we are awaiting new enrollment kits that are being sea freighted with an ETA on the 1st of April. This new office will ease congestion in the Suva office, certainly reduce travel time for residents in surrounding communities, Suvarnasori corridor, and bring the immigration services closer to the people. We are also finalizing the location of a new immigration office in Rakiraki town. My permanent secretary and the PS Civil Service and staff from the Office Accommodation Unit had just returned from Rakiraki today to finalize this process, and I'm told that they have finalized the location in Rakiraki town. This move to Rakiraki will greatly improve access to communities in the Rak province, Tavua, Wainibuka, and nearby rural areas. Presently, these communities would travel all the way to Lautoka or to Suva for immigration services. Like the new Nakasi office, the technical equipment for this new Rakiraki office is expected to arrive on the 1st of April. Mr. Speaker, we are targeting the end of May to complete all the upgrade to our passport systems and opening these two new offices in Nakasi and Rakiraki. We are also progressing plans to relocate the Sabsabu and Lautoka offices. This relocation aims to improve service delivery and provide a more professional, secure, and accommodating workspace for staff and our customers in the north. Mr. Speaker, last week Friday, International Women's Day was celebrated globally under the theme, Give to Gain. Ministry also marked this occasion, and I wish to commend the invaluable contributions made by women across all areas of our work. Mr. Speaker, within our ministry, women constitute 70% of our staff. Their commitment, their expertise, and leadership are central to driving the ministry forward, ensuring that our services are delivered efficiently and effectively. The remarkable contributions of these women strengthen our operations, They uphold the integrity of our work and inspire a culture of professionalism across every area of work within the Ministry of Immigration. Mr. Speaker, my staff at our Lotoka office are all women. Yes, they do all the immigration work, including boarding all those ships, big and small, that come into Lotoka or Vunda Marina. I know that they're happy to hear about the new Rakaraki office, as it will relieve a lot of pressure from their office in Lotoka. Mr. Speaker, His Excellency reminded us in his speech that the review of the 2013 Constitution has commenced. That process commenced in this House when we voted on the Constitution Amendment Bill and the consequent proceedings that followed in the Supreme Court. The referendum bill, which is a prominent part of constitutional review, is currently going through the consultation process under the Justice, Law and Human Rights Standing Committee. The Honorable Minister for Justice and Acting Attorney General articulated this process very well yesterday. Mr. Speaker, some members of the opposition have been asking in this House, what does government want to change in the Constitution? Insinuating that there is a list hidden somewhere. Mr. Speaker, the answer to their ill-founded insinuation is in His Excellency's speech. And let me remind them, and I quote, I'll read it to them. This is what he said. Central to this review is meaningful public participation, transparency, and dialogue. Government is committed to ensuring that the voices of all Fijians across communities, generations, and regions are heard and respected. Through structured consultation and expert engagement, the review will work to build broad-based consensus and reinforce public confidence in the constitutional framework that underpin our democratic institution, unquote. His Excellency even went further, and I quote, and he said that the Constitution Amendment Bill, like all other bills, will be made public and undergo an extensive consultation process with robust public debate and input before it is tabled to Cabinet and Parliament, unquote. In other words, Mr. Speaker, the changes to the Constitution will come from the voices of Fijians. And the process will follow the process that is laid out in the review of the Constitution. And let me just add that in our 56 years of independence, constitutional change has been, in the most part, preceded by a military coup. But this time, we, the members of this House, in this term, we have the opportunity, and government has the political will, to take this Constitution back to the people, and at the end of the review process, we will have a Constitution that truly reflects the will of the people as it should, and not the will of a few as it is now. Mr. Speaker, in his speech, His Excellency paid tribute to our peacekeepers. Fiji has deployed in peacekeeping missions for 48 years now. And as we know, the missions that they deployed to and are deployed to now are mostly around the Middle East. Our troops are currently deployed in the Golan Heights and in Sinai. And as we watch what is happening in the Middle East, we remember our peacekeepers and their families. We pray for their safety and good health. We pray for peace in the Middle East and the world. To our brave peacekeepers, thank you for your service to your country, and thank you for your service to world peace. And to your families, thank you for your support, and thank you for your sacrifice. Mr. Speaker, I most sincerely thank His Excellency for his most gracious speech, and I fully support the motion that is before the House. Thank you, sir.
I thank the Minister for Immigration, the Honorable William Potho, for his contribution to the motion. I next call on the Minister for Information, Environment and Climate Change, the Honorable Linda Thumbuya, to deliver her contribution to the debate.
Honourable Speaker, the Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Members of Parliament, my fellow Fijians. I rise today to support the motion moved by the Honourable Prime Minister to thank His Excellency, the President, for his inspiring address in the House. But first, what a month March has been already, a month of celebrations. A happy Chinese New Year of the Fire Horse, happy Holi, Ramadan Mubarak, happy Father's Day to all our fathers, of course a happy International Women's Day to all women in Fiji and around the world. Honourable Speaker, I wish to especially acknowledge our women who often carry the burden of care in our homes and in our families and in our societies. Our mothers, our grandmothers, women who look after children, look after the elderly, look after people living with disabilities, often not thanked, but yet contributing very much to our fabric of society, and I acknowledge them. I also acknowledge our women in the informal economy, our housekeepers, our nannies, our caregivers, Honourable Speaker. Often unheard, they may not have titles or visible, but yet the same, I acknowledge the very important work that they do. Honourable Speaker, in his address, His Excellency reminds us that Fiji must move forward guided by three very powerful principles: unity in diversity, sustainability and resilience, integrity and good governance. These are simply not principles for speeches, but they are principles for action. They want leadership, our people want leadership that improves their lives, that speak truth, and a future that is safer, fairer, and more secure for their children. Today, Honourable Speaker, I wish to focus on two issues that affect every Fijian family: information, what we believe, and the environment, how we live. Both shape Fiji. Honourable Speaker, we are now living in a time where information moves faster than ever before. A rumor can travel across the country in minutes. A fake image can look real. A voice generated by artificial intelligence can sound like a real person. Technology is powerful, but like all power, it can be used for good or for harm. Around the world, governments and societies are grappling with a growing challenge of misinformation and disinformation. Honourable Speaker, we saw this clearly during the cyclone the last couple of weeks. While families were trying to find safety and reliable updates, false announcements began circulating online. One post falsely claimed that civil service offices had been closed because of the cyclone, and that civil servants did not have to go to work. It looked official, it looked real, but it was completely false. That is why the Ministry of Information works day and night to verify information and correct false reports. But, Honourable Speaker, government cannot do this alone. Because today, every person with a smartphone is a publisher, a detective, a coach, a lawyer, a psychologist, And the list goes on. Anyone can post, anyone can share, anyone can start a story. Sometimes these stories are shared before they are even verified. Sometimes people record videos before helping those in need. Sometimes rumors are shared simply to gain likes, followers, or attention. Sometimes crimes are committed within minutes, as private content is shared across Fiji without consent, or TikTok videos go viral of personal attacks using vulgar words. But, Honorable Speaker, a single post can damage a reputation. It can cause termination of employment. A single rumor can create panic. It can hurt people. It can break up families. A single share can commit a crime. A single lie can divide a nation. That is why I want to repeat the very pertinent message by His Excellency, the President, when he referred to the philosopher Socrates. To every Fijian, when you receive information, ask yourself 3 questions. Is it true? Endi Nambeka? Is there evidence of the truth of the information? Is it good? Ebinaka? Will it foster goodwill or cause more harm? Is it useful? Eanga? Will it be of benefit or will it just create drama? His Excellency called on leaders, media organizations, and citizens to exercise responsibility, discernment, and integrity in sharing information so that public discourse strengthens unity. This responsibility, Honorable Speaker, becomes even more important as Fiji approaches the local government elections than the national elections, as Fiji undertakes constitutional review, as Fiji is undergoing the process of truth and reconciliation. Around the world, misinformation increases during election periods. But democracy cannot thrive when truth is ignored. It must be built on facts, on respect, and responsible debate. Later this month, Honorable Speaker, the Ministry of Information will host Fiji's first ever Government Communications Conference. The theme is simple but powerful. Coordinate, collaborate, elevate. At this conference, we will launch the Government Communications Guidebook and a new National Communications Framework called Sautu. The word Sautu in Fijian represents peace, harmony, and well-being. And that is exactly what we want our information environment to promote. Not confusion, not division, but truth, unity, and responsible dialogue. Honorable Speaker, I wish to acknowledge our partnership with our government communication services of the UK, who have been working with us for a number of years. We've yet to sign the MOU and the renewal of this relationship, but I acknowledge their support in this conference that we will be hosting, and also in the development of this, this communications guidebook called Sautu. And I acknowledge my colleagues who are here from GCSI today, in the chambers, as well as Permanent Secretary for Information, Esethananda Kuitavuki. And I thank her and her leadership in assisting me, Honorable Speaker, as we move forward to improve the information environment here in Fiji. Honorable Speaker, while information shapes what our people believe, the environment shapes how people live and survive. As we know, climate change is no longer a distant threat. It is here. Our farmers face unpredictable seasons. Our communities face flooding. Our coastlines face erosion. And some villages are now faced with the painful decision of relocation. Despite contributing only a tiny fraction of global emissions, Fiji faces some of the most severe impacts. But we need to be clear, Honorable Speaker, climate change is not just an environmental issue. It is an economic issue, it is a development issue, And I thank my colleagues who have acknowledged and are working on this issue of climate change and the impacts of climate change even within their own line ministries. For a small nation like Fiji, it is a survival issue. But Fiji is not standing still. Fiji is leading. I wish to acknowledge the great work that has been set by my predecessor, the Honorable Moses Mbulitabu. Thank you for the work in leading the ministry and the hard work you've put in the last year, and I can only hope to be able to fill the big shoes that he has left behind, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, more than 75% of the Climate Change Act is already in force, ensuring that climate considerations are integrated across all government policies and planning. Honorable Speaker, I am proud to inform this House that our Pacific leaders have supported Fiji's proposal to host the pre-COP meeting ahead of Climate COP31. This is a significant moment in our nation. I thank the Honorable Prime Minister for his leadership in securing this auspicious event. I acknowledge the hard work of our Permanent Secretary and the Ministry team in preparing and submitting the proposal. I also thank our Pacific brothers and sisters for placing their confidence in Fiji to host such an important event. Once approved by Cabinet, this event will bring together not just our Pacific leaders, but global leaders as well, as we prepare our united voice as a Blue Pacific to COP31 in Turkey. I acknowledge the support of the Government of Australia as the chair leading the negotiations at COP31 in advancing this initiative. I'd also like to acknowledge the leadership of the former Prime Minister, Frank Bainimarama, who served as president of COP23, laying the foundation for Fiji's continued leadership in global climate action. Honorable Speaker, our ministry has completed the review of Fiji's litter laws, which will soon be brought to Parliament. The proposed amendments will increase penalties for littering, criminalize illegal dumping by corporations, businesses, and strengthen enforcement mechanisms. I seek the support of our colleagues in this House to pass these changes, because a cleaner Fiji benefits everyone. Honorable Speaker, we are also seeing encouraging progress through initiatives that promote recycling and responsible waste management. I thank you, Honorable Speaker, for your immense support for the VACA Forum, and I thank the Honorable Prime Minister and Honorable Leader of Opposition and colleagues who will be attending in great numbers on Monday. Honorable Speaker, this VACA Forum brings together our waste recyclers, grassroots waste recyclers, Honorable Speaker. They've come as far as Taveuni, Lambasa, and other maritime areas to be here for the next few days for the VACA Forum. And I thank the Pacific Recycling Facility Foundation that are hosting along with our ministry. I also wish to acknowledge the Return and Earn initiative, which is in partnership with the Ministry for Local Government, where several municipal councils are open to receiving plastic bottles to be recycled at their centers, 5 cents a bottle, where the community can actually earn some money while keeping Fiji clean and free of litter. Honorable Speaker, these initiatives help reduce litter, encourage recycling, and create some small income opportunities for families. I also acknowledge Trash Boom Pacific, which I know some of you have seen online, where they're collecting, this particular device is collecting trash in the Namukalo Creek as well as rivers around the country. The ministry has secured 8 more trash booms that we will be installing in the coming weeks around the country as well. Honorable Speaker, as Pacific people, the ocean is our identity. It feeds us, connects us, and it sustains our economy. That is why Fiji supports the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister of the Ocean of Peace. This vision becomes even more important as we prepare for the first ever Conference of Parties, or COP, under the BBNJ agreement, expected to be in early 2027. This agreement represents a historic step forward in protecting biodiversity on the high seas, areas beyond our own national jurisdiction. As custodians of the Blue Pacific, Fiji will continue to advocate strong ocean protection, sustainable fisheries, and responsible stewardship of our marine resources. Honorable Speaker, to conclude, the message from His Excellency the President is clear. Fiji's future depends on truth in our information, integrity in our leadership, and sustainability in our development. We need to move forward together, united in diversity, guided by integrity, and committed to a resilient and sustainable Fiji. And to Honorable Pravin Bala and his proposal for a government of national unity, I say to him, we are already doing it. The coalition government is a coalition of political parties, as well as the G11 who've come over to join government, and you are most welcome, Honorable Bala, to join us as well. On that note, Vinakabakalevu, Honorable Speaker, Dhanyabad, Fayaxia, and God bless Fiji.
I thank the Honorable Linda Tambuya, the Minister for Information, Environment and Climate Change, for her contribution to the debate on the motion. I now invite the Assistant Minister for Justice, the Honorable Ratu Chosayenundamu, to deliver his contribution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. The Honorable Speaker of Parliament, the Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Deputy Prime Minister, Cabinet Ministers and Assistant Ministers, Honorable Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Members of Parliament, distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen. Sayan Ravinaga, and a good afternoon to you all. Honorable Speaker, I rise today with humility and deep gratitude to deliver my response to the address by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Fiji, Ratu Naingama Tawakidolati Lalambalabu, Waniturambali na Tuirakau, at the opening of this 2026 session of Parliament. At the outset, Honorable Speaker, I acknowledge the Vanua Nondolmai, non-retiko na Waniturang na Tuisuba, upon whose ancestral land this august house stands. I also extend my heartfelt appreciation to the Vanua and Chiefs of Ra, na Vanua urang ulunda, non-igo na urang inuwi lebu, ba urang alingay buri lebu, non-igo na urang na uya. Valeu na kor umbu non igo na urang na wan sau na igo ba urang na do bidin non igo na wan urang no inalawa, and to the many other communities in Ra from which I draw my strength. Your trust and unwavering support continue to guide me as I serve you and our nation in this honorable house. With your permission, sir, if you can allow me to say my appreciation words to the Vanua Ra in our Ra dialect. And bukui ke rausa kana be kay dini ba kay lomar na marama na minista ni goli ke rausa da buona ba bidi binaka na no muni ba kan bawo ibi ke raw mi ke roma ke na bunora na valdim boselawa kasama ba bo lek mi ba ka bari na bak bani bin krabi and buku ni kana ma agi na bunora ausa da bu ana ba bidi binaka lebu and bi ba kan bawo i ke na be ba kan nui ni bunora be ke raw ni ke raw na mai ma aka na bunora na valdim boselawa. Sir, I also wish to express my profound sorrow for the families in Ra and Ba who were deeply affected over the recent heavy rains and flooding associated with Tropical Cyclone Urmila. Our people of Ra are very resilient as we always incorporate our motto in our hearts, Mai na Mai. Fear not or never fear. I also take this opportunity to thank the government for the urgent swift aid, bloster relief supplies, and the repaired infrastructure we have begun. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister Mbultab. Allow me to begin with the words of the scripture from the book of Micah chapter 6 verse 8. He, and I quote, He has shown you, O man, what is good and what does the Lord require of you, but to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God." Unquote. This verse speaks to the very essence of justice, humility, and service, principles that underpin both the President's address and our collective responsibility as leaders. His Excellency's address calls upon us to reflect on our shared national journey. It reminds us that Fiji's strength lies in the sovereignty of its people, the wisdom of our elders, and the sacrifices of those who come before us. It recognizes that our identity as a nation is shaped by the contribution of all our communities, Itaukei, Indo-Fijians, Rotumans, Banabans, and all who call Fiji home, including those in our diaspora. As we reflect on 152 years since the deed of cession and 55 years of independence, we are reminded that nationhood is not defined solely by time, but by a commitment to the values of good governance, education, faith, and economic progress. Independence brought with it both opportunity and responsibility. It entrusted each generation, including ours, with a sacred duty to build a nation that is just, inclusive, and resilient. His Excellency's address rightly affirms that our progress as a nation has been built through the collective efforts of our people, our workers, our civil servants, our peacekeepers, our community leaders, and our families. It is through their sacrifice, their service, and dedication that Fiji continues to grow and prosper. Honorable Speaker, central to the President's address is the government's legislative agenda, which reflects our shared commitment to the strengthening the rule of law and ensuring that our legal framework remains modern, relevant, and responsive to the needs of our people. As Assistant Minister for Justice, I am proud to support the Ministry's legislative modernization program, which includes the review of key laws that shape our criminal justice system and protects the rights and dignity of our citizens. These reforms are not undertaken lightly. They are guided by careful considerations, constitutional principles, and the overarching goal of delivering justice that is fair, balanced, and accessible. Mr. Speaker, sir, legislative reform is complemented by the ongoing modernization of the Ministry's core registries, which provide essential services to our people and businesses. Allow me to highlight a few notable achievements for the Ministry of Justice in 2025. The Births, Deaths, and Marriages BTM registry has strengthened the civil registration and vital statistics system through collaboration with partner agencies, ensuring that every Fijian is recognized and protected from birth. This includes expanding hospital-based registration services, extending outreach to rural and maritime communities, and advancing the review of legislation to support digital record-keeping and certification. I am also pleased to report that several senior citizens have recently visited the BDM office to register their births and receive their birth certificates for the first time. One such case is 67-year-old Mr. Isiti Temo, who traveled all the way from Lakemba to complete his registration. With his new birth certificate, he is now able to access essential services, including registering for social welfare assistance. The Register of Companies has continued its transformation into a modern, efficient, and accessible services. Through digital platforms such as the Business Now portal, entrepreneurs are now able to register businesses remotely, significantly reducing processing times and administrative barriers. These reforms have empowered our small and medium enterprises and supported economic participation and growth. Similarly, the Register of Titles has made steady progress in transitioning from manual to semi-digital systems, improving processing efficiency, strengthening record management, and enhancing governance practices. These improvements ensure greater reliability, transparency, and accessibility of land registration services. The Official Receiver's Office has also advanced legislative modernization through the development of new insolvency and financial rehabilitation legislation, while effectively managing insolvency and liquidation matters. The office has strengthened accountability, safeguards trust funds, and ensured the integrity and accuracy of company records, including the removal of inactive entities from the register. Mr. Speaker, sir, the number of active Justice of the Peace, JPs in Fiji, has steadily increased over the past 4 years, reflecting the Ministry of Justice's continued commitment to ensuring justice services are more accessible to communities across the country than ever. In Fiji, in 2022, Fiji recorded a total of 515 active JPs. This number rose to 557 in 2023, increased further to 613 in 2024, and reached 673 in 2025. The consistent growth in appointments demonstrate the ministry's ongoing efforts to strengthen community-based justice services and support the government's vision of ensuring that no one is left behind in accessing justice. Through expanding the network of JPs across all divisions, the Ministry of Justice continues to bring essential legal services closer to the people of Fiji. In this way, the expansion of the JP network forms part of the ministry's wider efforts to improve service delivery and strengthen public access to justice. These advancements reflect the ministry's broader commitment to digital transformation, improve accessibility, and strengthen institutional performance. They demonstrate that justice is not only delivered in courtrooms, but also through efficient, accessible, and trusted public services. Honorable Speaker, the Ministry of Justice also led and successfully completed a sector-wide functional review and produced the Law and Justice Roadmap 2025 to 2029. The roadmap is clear and provides strategic direction of priorities of our law and justice sector. Mr. Speaker, sir, legislative reform must always be grounded in public trust. This trust is strengthened through meaningful public participation, transparency, and open dialogue. Government remains committed to ensuring that voices of all Fijians across communities, generations, and regions are heard and respected in the lawmaking process. I'm honored to serve alongside my colleagues in Parliament, including in my role as a member of the Standing Committee on Justice, Law, and Human Rights. Through this committee, we have traveled to communities around our nation, including most recently to the Northern Division in February, to conduct public consultation on important legislation, including the Education Bill, Criminal Records Bill, and the National Referendum Bills. These consultations are more than procedural exercises. They are opportunities for our people to participate directly in shaping the laws that govern our nation. They are demonstration of government's commitment to listening, engaging, and working in partnership with our citizens. We have been elected for this very purpose, to represent the voices, aspirations, and concerns of the people of Fiji in the most important decision-making forum of our nation. This responsibility cannot be fulfilled without listening. It cannot be fulfilled without dialogue, and it cannot be fulfilled without the active participation of our people. I therefore encourage all Fijians to continue to engage constructively in these consultations. Your presence, your voice, and your perspectives are essential. Let us engage not in division but in dialogue, not in hostility but in respect, and not in silence but in shared purpose. Mr. Speaker, sir, we have heard on Monday from Honorable Permila Kumar, including the cheering squad from Honorable Usumati, about the government for failing its legislative agenda in regards to the Code of Conduct Bill and the Accountability and Transparency Bill. Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members should be the last person to lecture this House about transparency and accountability. Given that she served in a regime which, despite the clear constitutional requirement, failed for years to establish the Accountability and Transparency Commission or to adequately resource our anti-corruption framework. What a shame. The honorable member should instead thank the coalition government for finally bringing these long overdue accountability measures to Parliament through the Code of Conduct Bill 2025 and the Accountability and Transparency Commission Bill 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, His Excellency reminded us that and I quote, our national progress is grounded not only in policy and institution, but in shared values, faith, compassion, respect, and service, unquote. These values define who we are as Fijians. They guide our conduct, they strengthen our unity, and they remind us that leadership is, above all, an act of service. As we move towards the upcoming general elections, we are reminded that elections are a cornerstone of our democracy. They are an opportunity for our people to express their will, to shape the future of our nation, and to renew the foundation of our democratic system. The strength of our democracy depends not only on the outcome of elections, but on the conduct of all who participate in the democratic process. It requires leaders and citizens alike to act with integrity, restraint, and respect. It requires us to uphold the rule of law and to protect the unity that defines us as one nation. His Excellency's address presents a vision for a confident, inclusive, and resilient Fiji, a nation that honors its past while preparing for the future. This vision can only be realized through a collective effort. Government cannot achieve it alone. It requires the partnership of our communities, our civil society, our faith organization, our private sector, and every citizen. Before I conclude, Mr. Speaker, sir, I seek your indulgence if I can speak in it okay. Turang sa kana speaker, inonda ang bosilawa. Ang andreba mi na bosa sa bagay okay, mambaleta sa kay so sa kana lo mataro-taro, may beira na nonda. Si sa bagay bi ti kombeka na kena pisaw tagi. Si mga babalang tagi na review tagi ni abni ba buluan ni ronong dulutin katur. Inarong sa tiyo na leni nonda po nolomani, na non ramala ni bosa na ngunit turang balan na presidente na turang na tuya kaw. Non radola sa tiyo ng bosilawa ni katiri kaono ni February. Ronong dolo rosong bulu kaono ni sanang karabi sa tiyo. Sa sanang karabi na matentu na kena review taki, sa kena pisaw taki. Na yabu di ba buluan ni ronong dulutin katur. Na yabu di ba bulawa mo ko ang andrebi kira non tabaka sama kede kina non tanan numa na lewi bitira ramba kasi ang yabu taki wala nga may na lewi ruwa. Sa teki muna raw na matentu na kena baka durumi maya na bosilawa na lawa baka tutu baka toka israti ko na referendum bill kan dua srati ko na tikini lawan bimbi ana kena sangay mena rawati sa katu bani kena tadola biani na kena biso tagisaka na yabu di baka bulawa. Autor sa katalangan ng unong ko, may utabutan na baka binibinaka na bukusakan ni Komite sa ni Parliamenti, ni Justice, Law and Human Rights. Ano bukusakan ni Tomi Bakararamataki, turang sa kana speaker, tiga busa kaya ni, nasari mo turang ko na mosi, na takolo po may na mosi, nadungan na po sa serua, meron sa kanya sa bakara, pilisar kinaruturan ng taubu, may takon robo kay imbuwa ay maduwata. So tabutan ko baka binibinaka lebu, and kaya also ring sa kaya ni, na bale baka rutaki, muni may rongo kina na komite ni bakararanta komite ni bakarararamtaki may nabal din po silaw. So turo sa kanang unong ko mo tabutan ko baka binibinaka bi kimo turang bale na marambali. No muni toko na sa katu na law tungo na referendum bill, na law tunibuli kina criminal records. Na bakyo ngoy do na baki bimbiar matentu to bata. Ana kena sa may biu kina ana kena sa ngay mesa ng biu may ana bal ni bot silaw na law baka tutu na kena review ta kina abri baka bulawani ron dultin katulu ana karabi na referendum mo ni na sulye kina no muni ding na lendi buno rarambo biti ana no muni baka tulawa me baleta no muni na numa na bisaw me bisaw na abri baka bulawa si senga ninday sa katiko no nota kawa okay ka kuni rongoda baka lebu na rorongo yan yabuta kada no muni itukutuku ana dina kani no hindi ito na matin tuto ko bata non rebellion taki na turana prime minister city beni rambuka en no tuta ka sakatiko na rebellion taki do bagarong erongo na do mo munina lendi bunwan hindi sakatiko na yabun di bakabulo wali ron dol kini ketolu en biuki na ka biu tani na bika soya inda sengni binakata kana biuki na bika ita numa na lewe bitira ramba. As we enter this important period in our nation's journey, I wish to reaffirm my unwavering faith in the people of Fiji and my confidence in the decision of our government. We remain committed to serving with integrity, strengthening our institutions, and advancing reforms that will benefit both present and future generations. I ask all Fijians to continue to have faith in the democratic process and in the work being undertaken to build a stronger, fairer, and more united Fiji. Let us move forward together with hope, with trust, and with a shared commitment to the future of our beloved nation. Mr. Speaker, sir, before I sit down, I would invite the Honorable Praveen Bala to join G12 to make it G13 so that we can support the Honorable Prime Minister. I commend His Excellency the President's address to this Honorable House and reaffirm my commitment to serve the people of Fiji with humility, dedication, and respect. Thank you, Dhanirvad, Mr. Speaker.
I thank the Honorable Ratu Chisaya Nyandamo, Assistant Minister for Justice, for his contribution to the motion. I think, honorable members, this is a convenient time to take our afternoon break. But before we do, and given the lateness of the hour, I will, for the purposes of complying with Standing Order 23, I will invite the Leader of the Government in Parliament, the Honorable Rofili Pethusoau, to move his suspension motion.
Mr. Speaker, I move that under Standing Order 6, that so much of Standing Order 23-1 be suspended so as to allow the House to sit beyond 4:30 p.m. today to complete the remaining items listed in today's order paper.
Thank you. Is there a seconder?
Honorable Speaker, I second the motion.
Honorable Manivalu, I now call upon the Leader of the Government in Parliament to speak on this motion.
Thank you. We still have 5 speakers contributing to the response to His Excellency the President's speech and also the bills. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. The floor is now open for debate on the motion, if any. There is none. I now call on the Leader of Government to speak on in reply or forego.
Do not have any further comments. No.
The Parliament will now vote. The question is that under Standing Order 6, that so much of Standing Order 23, Clause 1, is suspended so as to allow the House to sit beyond 4:30 p.m. today to complete the remaining items listed on today's order paper. Does any member oppose the motion? And none. If no member opposes, the motion is agreed to unanimously. Honourable members, we will now suspend proceedings for a break. Parliament will resume in half an hour. Thank you, honourable members.